This is Rob and Larry. So we wanted to start off this before we got into the next episode of Jason. We wanted to do a little disclaimer, only because the first episode we ended up having to cut a lot more than what we expected, and I'm gonna. So I know we talk about it being unfiltered, but
it was unfiltered.
Yes.
However, it was just three buddies talking
deeply.
Yeah. And we got done with it, and then Larry called me 2 days later. Well, Jason and I, we had spoke, and Larry spoke after the meeting. Wow, that was deep.
Yep.
So, and then Larry called me back 2 days later. Rob, God has put something on my heart. I go, mine too. So when you do those of you who don't know what a fifth step is, just think of everything you think you're going to take to the grave with you, everything you've got in your closet, all that comes out in a fifth step. And that is meant for you, your sponsor, or another man, and God. And that's it. And some of what Jason got into was deep. It's not that we don't think you guys are adult enough to handle it, but there were some names or some people whose business is not ours to put in the street.
Yep.
So for their protection, we're going to have to redact some of those things. And we're learning.
Right.
We're learning.
The key to that, Rob, and like Rob said it right, is that we're learning, right? Like Rob said in the beginning, it was three buddies sitting and talking, and we almost forgot that we had a microphone in front of us, right? And we forgot that this stuff is real. This is a real life person. These are real life people on the other end of that. And when I started editing this, it just became more and more difficult for me, and God was just laying something so deeply and heavy on me, I couldn't continue to do it. And that's why I reached out to you, and you were on the same. I reached out to Rob, and he was on the exact same wavelength as I was. We reached out to Jason.
And if you've ever spoken, I got to go give a speech, or you got to speak, even in front of a small group, large group, really don't matter. There's always that talk that you plan for, the one that you actually do, then when you get done, like, man, I should have said this, or I shouldn't have said that. But luckily with this medium, we can go back and protect some people, which is what we're going to do. Not that names were mentioned, but their business is not ours to put in the street. So we got to go back and protect a few people. Yep. That's why we're doing this. It's not to hide anything.
No, and it's not. And so what you're going to hear, and you heard it in the first episode, you're going to hear a lot of editing, a lot of cuts. And
we're going to get better about that.
We're going to get way better about that. But we're also, so just be patient with us as we go through this one. Or don't. Well, I hope you do, because there's a lot here. Or, hey, if you get mad, I love you anyways, right? Like I say before. Yeah, you do. Don't lie. Anyways, we're going to get into the second part of Jason. Remember, this is an extremely personal. I did the best job I could. I brought in another guy to help me do some editing to try and make this as best as possible. But as Rob said, please be patient with us. Stick with this. I promise you the last 20 minutes of this will come together, and it will change your life. The last 25 22 minutes of it will change your life.
They're going to jump to...
No, they better not, because the end won't make no sense.
I would. But I don't have patience.
All right, here we go. Welcome to Recovery Unfiltered. I'm Larry. I'm an alcoholic.
I am Rob. I am also an alcoholic. We are not professionals. There are no letters after our names. We know very little. However, you will hear the word God and a four-letter word in the same sentence. You will also be offended. So if you are easily offended, just pass us by. This podcast is not for you.
Our opinions are just that. If you don't agree with what we're saying, that's okay. We're going to love you anyways. We are not in any way affiliated with AA.
So sit back, grab a beverage of your choice, and get ready.
Let's go. Hello, Rob.
Hello, Larry.
I don't know why I always had to start off like that.
I don't know.
Rob.
Yeah, because he has to talk first. He has to, Jason knows you do. Our guest knows who you are. You've got to
what?
Talk first,
by
talk
now,
the most, speak the last.
Well, welcome back.
Welcome back. How you doing, Larry? Great.
We're in part 2 of Jason. Good God, I can't wait to get into this rest of this.
Well,
right
here
now,
we go. This is
where the meat comes in.
This is where the rubber meets the road, baby.
If you got interested in this story at all last week, this week you're going to be entranced.
Because up to this point, a lot of trauma,
right?
A lot of devastation. Not much in the area of drugs and alcohol or everything that. But baby, Jason's about to go.
Yeah, we're about to ready to get. The unfiltered part is about ready to get unfiltered. So if you got the kids in the room, I don't know. Or if the kids are listening, remember that explicit button's punched for a reason, right? We try not to, but, here it goes. Jason, how are you, buddy?
Yep, doing good.
Welcome back.
Yep, thanks.
So where we left off right at?
We left off at, I was going to church, freaking.
You had Tyler.
Tyler.
Yeah.
So me and Tyler, TJ, my whole family were, I was going to church. I was trying to do everything right, trying to get to me. And
TJ in church too?
So no, TJ would not go to church.
I'll get it.
But someday. But TJ was my at the forefront.
Oh, absolutely.
With Tyler helping try to rehabilitate him, because they had told me with TBI, the more that you get them to do in the first year,
the TJ is amazing.
The more they come, yeah. And we took it like a wrestling camp. We put him through work every day. We made harnesses that he could stand up in and hold his body up in the air and try. We got wheelchairs. He could actually move his right foot, and he came home. He had no facial expression, no nothing, being fed through a tube, but he could move his right foot. And one day he typed. His mom had bought him all these little kid toys and stuff, and it had the alphabet on it. And he typed out, "My hip hurts," and he had his hip was destroyed. They had put pins and everything in his hip, and he said, "My hip." He typed, and everyone's like, "Fuck, you're in there."
Right.
And he goes,
"You're in
yeah.
there."
He goes, "Yeah, I'm in here." He typed. He wouldn't blink, wouldn't do shit, but he would literally.
His brain was full functioning.
His brain was functioning in there. And, I said, "Hey, do you remember my phone number?" And he, typed it in with his toe.
Wow.
You know what I mean? Anyways, through all that, all the pain and stuff that I think I went through, he was going through the worst of it. It was, and my kid, my family,
his brothers and sisters.
Yeah,
it was
fucking devastating, dude. But everyone tried to take care of him and cleaned his ass and, dug the shit out of him when he was constipated. And, everybody, it was full care,
And again, unfiltered, because
Right.
I like that,
Right.
because we think of parenting, got the kids at the ballpark, teaching them how to, which is parenting.
Yeah,
Right.
that is.
But you want to talk about love, because the next guest we're going to have on, recently just lost a child, and and I got to be privileged to take that man through the steps anyway. But he had told me the same story, what he had to do with his son. And I thought Jason, the man, and Jason's been instrumental in helping me to help them, because I haven't been through it, but I got two brothers that loving on each other. It's amazing. God is good.
God is good.
So now let's get.
And so, so just at my, so when this shit happens, like I didn't go to church stuff, I found myself at church kneeling in front of the, going, "All right, God, help me, help my son. I'll do anything," because when this shit happens, you can't turn to doctors. You can't, you got nowhere else to turn. And if you really, really love your kid, you're going to beg and
you're going to do
anybody.
Right.
Right. And so through this, one thing did happen. It brought my whole family to Jesus, bro. Like my dad never went to church. My whole family, we all went. And we seen what, I read the Bible. I studied the Bible. I literally read the whole Bible. Went to Hume Lake, read the book of Job. And,
come on.
Yeah. And
how'd that hit you?
Dude, it's my story, man. It's my life. It's my life.
No,
bro.
literally
my life.
It's your life.
Yeah.
It takes one, gives you two.
Yeah. Hey, for real. Like, and
we're gonna get
I
to
would have
that.
never ever thought, but anyway, so through this time, I was really hurt. Not just the pain of losing my son. I lost wrestling, what me and Tyler had together. My son was a stud, bro. He wrestled David Taylor, our Olympic champion, in the finals at Reno Worlds. That's the level that he wrestled at, and we were working together. He had told me at one point, "Dad, I don't." Because Coach Noon would say, "You want to be a 97% wrestler, you want to beat 97% of the kids, And he'd be like, "No, I want to be 100% wrestler. I want to beat everybody." And he wanted that. He wasn't kidding when he told me that. And he worked hard for it. But so one of the biggest losses in my life was losing that with him. Like it was done, like it was gone. It'll never, I tried to make, my other kids wrestle, but you got it. Not many people have it like that. And so that was a huge loss that hurt more than anything. And, I spent a lot of time, crying out to God privately and, telling God, I can't believe this is over. I lost my son, I lost wrestling. I'll never have this again. It was done. And, God, could I just please have one more son? I swear this is what happened. And I'm telling you, within months, I meet a woman through our pastor at church, I'm not saying it was the best circumstances, but so when I did say this prayer, just to be brutally honest with everybody, I had Tyler to myself. I had full custody. I didn't have no woman, no mom involved, and it was us against the world. And we wrestled, we did what we wanted, and we lived an amazing life at that time. And I had told God very selfishly, dude, I don't have a son with no mom, nobody interfering what I'm doing with him. It's me and him, and it was gone. That was one thing in my life. It's gone. It'll never happen again. God gave me a new wife, which gave me a son, which within months of, having my son Micah, she gave me crystal meth.
Oh boy.
Alcohol every night, marijuana. And basically, not to put no one on blast, but these are the facts.
Right.
This is unfiltered.
Right.
You know what I mean? This was one of the worst influences of my life when I'm trying to, do things right. Obviously, I'm the one that did it, but that started a whole spiral of.
But Tyler was still alive at this time.
Tyler was with us now. Us.
That's right.
Now. And, not only did I get a son, I got, stepdaughters. I got a family that I cared for dearly. I love my children, and, I'm trying to be politically correct here, but basically within months of having my son, actually when my son was 2.5 years old, I filed for divorce. We separated, and guess what God gave me? He gave me my son. To Micah. Myself.
To yourself.
Micah.
With no mom involved.
Wow.
No, it was me and Micah. And just like I had asked 3 years prior, when I knew it was done and I would never have this situation again, here I am with a chance to do the whole thing over again with just right where I started. And of course we started coaching the wrestling team, and I'm going to build the next, Tyler, which was not the case whatsoever, but, it was one at that point, I knew it was God that had answered my prayers like that. And I never, it's something never happens. Like you can't, I don't know, they say you can't ask for selfish stuff, but I did, and I received it. So, with that being said, we went on with Tyler, with my new family, Tyler, we divorced, me and Micah. Tyler was very, very 1 foot in heaven. He was done with this earth. This is when he was, just begging. I had lost my shit. I started, obviously, so let me rewind back a little bit before the divorce, with,
number 2,
with Micah's mom, number 2, we started doing drugs together, and of course, that led to just being out of control. The whole thing was just a shit show. And,
because let people know, Jason is extremes.
Yeah. I don't do a little one.
There is no half-ass.
Most of us are.
Yeah.
Yeah. Most of us are. When we're going to do it, we're going to do it.
Yeah.
But of all the 4 steps that I've heard, which are many, there was only one that I wouldn't trade mine for the rest, and that's his. We'll get to that too. The rest of yours, I'll take there. You can have mine, but I don't want his.
Yeah. Hey, so anyways, with that being said, at that point, with being under the influence and not being able to control my life, but I did not want to feel anything. I knew I was going through a breakup. I wasn't going to have the happy family like I had in my first marriage. Like,
which is what
that's what I was chasing the whole time.
Right.
Not really knowing it, but that's what I was chasing the whole time.
Right.
And I knew that Mike was going to be screwed just having a single dad, but I was going to be the best dad I could. But I could not. It got so hard I couldn't even stand to look at Tyler anymore. It hurt. I said, "Hey, you can come get Tyler. I can't do it no more." And I wiped him from my house. I took all his pictures down. I acted. She was so happy to have him, and it gave her
a chance for redemption.
Redemption, and have her baby again for the next, couple years of his life before he passed. And
but to bury that, what did you have to take?
Dude, I was on drugs. I didn't care. I didn't want to feel it. I did not want to any of it. It didn't matter. I couldn't do it no more. There was I had caregiver burnout. I was done. Like, I gave up my whole life for him. There was no more work. There was no more. It was just.
I was just going to ask. You weren't working anymore at all?
As much as I could, my dad would supplement our jobs together, and he would still pay me. And, it was a big, everybody pitched in and worked hard to take care of Tyler. I don't know, man. It was just, I was done with Tyler. I couldn't do it no more. I couldn't think about it. It was too much. It was literally.
How long had you been taking care of him up to that point?
A couple of years. It was a couple of years.
Wow.
So to mom he goes.
To mom he goes. That's when, and I spiraled, bro. That's when
after he left.
Yeah, I made it. I made it my mission to, I don't know, do whatever I can. I was being a bad, bad person. I didn't care. I didn't, there would be, I would go seek out gang members and stuff and have gunfights and you know what I mean? And I would try to,
Were you trying to kill yourself?
I told God I would not kill myself, but if you kill me, first thing I did is went down and never rode a motorcycle, and I went down and bought a new Harley. Wow. And I got on that thing, and I said, yeah, took the mirrors off and drove that thing as fast as I could everywhere, slid that thing up and down the road, Oakdale, Waterford.
Wow. And being in the circles, me and my wife, we would hear Jason, because I was, in recovery.
Yeah.
I was, Jason's off the rails, well, if I ever get a chance, I'll help him.
Yeah.
But
no, I did. I promised God I wouldn't kill myself, so I wouldn't do it. But
you
so
put yourself
be it
in a lot of positions.
Die, if I get shot right here, and
there goes the pain.
Run-ins with the cops and stuff. And I remember one of the last times I got pulled over, the cops walked right past 2 of the other bullet holes where I had gunfights, and walked right to the brand new one and started taking pictures of it. And I'm like, how the fuck did they know that was from 2 days ago? Why didn't they take pictures of the other ones? They have the CSI team out there. And I was like, oh God, I gotta stop. And so that pushed me to straighten up. Because when I did that shit, it was me throwing a fit at life, going, fuck you.
Right.
Like, I can't have nothing right. My dad didn't teach me how to be a good man. Like, I'm blaming everybody on the planet for, whatever.
Us.
Yeah, for whatever it is. And, and just throwing a ball-eyed fit. If my life can't be easy, then fuck you. I'm going to shoot everybody and fight everybody. And you know what I mean? And what, you want some? Come talk to me, send me to jail. You know what I mean? I don't give a fuck, and that's throwing a fit. Yeah. And I threw my fit. That was my second fit. Anyways, went to Teen Challenge, came out, was trying to make stuff work, decided we're going to divorce, got my kid, and that's all I cared about. God gave me my kid, and we started our adventures off, together as, as this is us, me, me and my little Tyler again. And we did very well for a minute, and then You know, we'd get Tyler every weekend or every other weekend. Then she called me and he fucking died. I wasn't with him. She was. She said, and we were fighting at the time. We were literally fighting at the time. And she was, you know, and this is just the truth. She was, I forget what the hell it was, but she wanted me to bring Tyler home, and I had him here and, you know, at my house, and I'd had him for like 4 or 5 days. And she's like, you bring him home, come in. I was like, fuck you, come get him. You know, we got to fight about something. And we were literally fighting. She brought her fucking husband down to whoop my ass. Like literally when she came to pick him up, like, and we fought. And so at this time I had a new girlfriend, you know, like me and Mike were living our best life, the best it could be at the time again. And I hadn't seen Tyler for probably a month. And I knew that she wanted me to come get him because you need the break.
Right.
But this was me punishing her, and she had called me and said that fucking he'd passed in his sleep. And we both said, thank you, fucking God. Like, thank God. Me and TJ were fighting at the time. We hadn't talked in probably a good year because or it was probably 2 years because it was when I was, you know, I started doing drugs and stuff, and he was pissed off, said, you know,
right,
I'm not fucking with you no more. And so we hadn't talked. I called him. He's one of the first ones I called, said he's gone, and he quit work. He came right to me, and, you know, we kissed and made up, and he carried me through, you know.
Friend.
Yeah. For real. It was, you know, it was a lifetime, but
TJ's about as steadfast as you get. I mean,
yeah, he's
like
still to this day, bro, to this day. Anyways, so one of the hardest things through that was telling Micah, because Micah was 5 years old, and Tyler couldn't move, walk, talk. He didn't run around with his friends. His best friend was his brother, and this guy had a brother that, you know, he watched TV with as a
Micah with Tyler.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. That was his brother that like none other. That's like having son. Hey, come on, Tyler. You know, you want giving him drinks and, you know, fighting and watching, just doing everything. He had someone to, you know, that couldn't run from him.
Yeah.
And they were just best friends. Right. That was just, and so I don't know. Micah felt the vibe, and I remember just going, Daddy, where's Tyler? And I had to tell him. And anyways, so that was a hard one for me and him. We all carried him. TJ, we all carried him to the hole and put, you know, when you got to carry your baby and put him in a hole and throw dirt on top of him, that's a hard one. But we did it, and we all knew it was for the better.
Ask a question, Jason, real fast. Were you, and only because I want to make sure and bring this back, were you drinking, were you drugs when during that, the burial and during that period of time, were you using substance?
No drugs, but it was drink. I would drink. It was drinking. It was, that was a bottle of Jameson that day. It was for sure. It was, you know, I tried not to do the drugs because I knew I went off the rails with that, but the drinking I seemed to maintain.
This was after Teen Challenge. You've been back. It was starting to progress a little bit.
It was starting. It was, you know, going to bars, bar fights. Dude, I did the best that I could to try to pick up and move on with my life. And I got, you know, I went to Jessica's house for counseling for years. I took Micah for years, and I got super close to God, like the closest I've ever been. Like I'm close now, but at that time, that's what got me.
So no hatred. You didn't go through that.
No, dude. I was done. I tapped out. Mine was, I'd lay in
your
my
hatred
bed.
was done.
It was done. I know I was done with just, you know, fuck, like, I don't know what to do. There's like a little kid scared in the fucking dark by himself, no parents, lost. And I remember laying in my bed at night, all alone.
So you were alone at this point.
I had Micah, But
yeah,
he
but
was in the bed, but I was alone.
You had no partner.
No partner, no one to talk to,
right,
nobody. You know, I had my dad.
Yeah.
Through this whole thing, I have my dad.
Yeah.
And I still talk to my dad every day.
Right.
It's been my best friend my whole life. Yeah. But I have my dad, but he didn't know. He's never been through this.
Right.
He just fucking hurt for me,
right.
you know.
His own son was going through pain.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I had my dad.
Yeah.
I had Papa.
God.
That was, I had
yeah.
Papa. And I laid in my bed and I imagined and I prayed to God and I said, God, I know how much I love my children. I know how much I love Tyler. I know how much I love Micah. I know how much you love me.
Mm.
You love me, and I know that you care for me. And I'm asking you right now, like I take care of my children, please take care of me.
Mm.
Just hold me. Please hold me close. Hold me. And I swear, bro, that was the closest, purest. I felt he held me to sleep every night. God, I felt him wrap around me like you love your children. God was loving me like that, holding me and taking and comforting me. And that's what gave me the strength to go on through that time. And going to Jessica's house, the counseling, it was huge to know I wasn't alone. Micah was getting counseling, but Micah was my greatest crutch because every other night we would be sitting there watching TV and Micah would just come up, grab me and start bawling and go, Daddy, and just crying with big crocodile tears as hard as he could. And Daddy, I miss my brother. I miss Tyler. I miss him. And he would just cry. And dude, it hurt so bad. And I would just tell him, it's okay. We're going to see him again in heaven. You know, it's okay. Like I'm telling him, it's okay.
Just
right.
Just
like
I was, you were told.
Yep.
It's going to be okay.
And I think that's where I got the concept of laying in bed when I was hurting the worst and going, God, take care of me. Tell me it's okay, you know, and he did. But I started getting resentment at Micah from doing that. And after, I don't know, a good year of that, he was, Daddy just, it was like clockwork every other day. And finally I was just, dude, I want to lash out and just be like, fuck you. I miss him too.
Right.
Like, shut the fuck up, deal with it, you know, instead of going.
Because of the pain that it would bring on.
Bro, it hurt. I couldn't take it no more. I couldn't take him going, Daddy. I couldn't take comforting him because I hurt too.
You hurt too.
It
you
hurt
didn't have a partner,
bro, and I didn't get to go, Daddy. I'm fucking hurt. Take care of me, which I probably should have, but you know, besides what I did.
But as a parent, we want to fix.
Yeah.
And something like that, there's no fix.
I couldn't do it no more, though. Dude, that was the most horrific fucking pain. And of him doing that to me, it hurt. It literally, I just like, oh no, he's going to do it. Oh no, he's going to do it. It like, bro, it was horrific.
Right.
And I swear to God, bro, it drove me to fucking drink. I would do anything. I would try to stay away from him. I'd try, you know, dude, it drove me over.
So you had a major resentment towards your own child.
Yes. My little 5-6-year-old baby.
Wow.
And,
but it's deeper than that.
it was deeper. The whole thing was deep. I never dealt with any of it. I never dealt.
How far was that to me?
That was not far, brother. That was 6 months, probably.
No way.
Yeah.
Prior to getting sober.
At that time right there, at that time is when, you know, went and tried to, you know, work shit out with his mom or whatever. And, you know, because he would be the one advocating, Daddy, I just want my family. Can we just go be with Mom and my sisters? And
so you were trying to
put
it back together.
I went back and right the fuck away.
Being the fixer,
you know,
we are.
Yeah, being the fixer.
But you'd get right back into.
Right.
Well, no, that was the first thing. Hey, give me some meth and you know, come over. You know, fuck, all right. You know.
Right.
And then, you know, then it's just all bets are off, bro. It was all just all shit.
Would you drink before you started doing that, though?
Oh, yeah,
Alcohol
I was drinking. I was going down to the bar down here and just, you know, I'd been in like 6 fist fights. I still got the belt down there. For real. I still got the belt.
That's funny.
Yeah.
So what was the last thing that did bring you? Because when you got to me, we were facing 9 years.
Oh yeah. So it was her and the meth and I had asked God explicitly, like I asked him not to, that I wanted another son, and he gave me my son. When I was in Teen Challenge, I asked him, hey, I never want to be in handcuffs again the rest of my life. And I thought, okay, I got this. I'm never going to have to do this shit again. Of course, number 2 brings up false charges and gets me put in handcuffs, and I was fucking pissed. And it just that I just had I threw a fit. Mad at everybody. I got to raise this kid by myself. I got to do everything and, deal with losing my kid. And, and I just threw a wall-eyed fit, started robbing drug dealers, shooting at people, doing whatever I could to,
wow,
just the wrong shit, just not in the wrong frame of mind, very hurt,
right.
just devastated, and the whole time raising my kid, which would be with my dad most of the time. But anyways, how
old was Micah then? 5 still?
6, 7. And, that was, dude, I just, I was the worst parent on the planet, but I was a hurt person, and, Rob knows from my 5th step, some of the, stuff I did, and my 4th step, some of the stuff, and,
better be all of it.
Yeah, it's all. Yeah, that was all of it, bro. That was
better, because
from what you said, you don't want no more.
Oh, I don't want. No, I don't want. I wouldn't want.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to.
No. That was.
We'll get to that part.
Yeah.
He'll get to that part in the fellowship.
Yeah. But anyways, so, dude, went off the chains. Just again, I was in somebody left their truck out in front of the store in, a town or something, went in the store, let their truck run, and I was walking down the street, I jumped in it, took off, drove, as I'm driving around in this truck, like, oh yeah, this thing was, it was a nice truck or whatever. Right. Not that I didn't have nice trucks myself and shit.
You always
that I just left parked at the store.
Right.
You know what I mean? But I'm in his and driving, and
just because I know you, that's
bro, I'm driving
nice stuff,
dude. And sure as shit, this guy in a diesel. I pull up off the off ramp. A guy in a diesel flashes his lights, and and I'm on one, and this motherfucker, because I've always had, my son was hit by a diesel truck, and I was always a little pissed off that, fucking an eye for an eye. And, my mom would read me, the vengeance is mine, I shall repay, let God take care of it. Shit, this is just life, right? And it's a short life, and we're here to die. And there was a lesson in all of Tyler's.
So you get flashed by a diesel
I get
in a stolen
flashed
truck.
by a diesel, and I automatically, this fucking kid, this dude wants to fight. This dude hit my kid. I switched. It was off, bro. He drove. I followed him. Tried to pull him off the road. I didn't know that his dispatcher or something was right down, and I followed him in, and he had like 8 guys waiting out there.
Oh, shit.
I had a gun and shit, and drove my truck into
that truck.
His truck, the
stolen truck,
and in the highway, all the cops and everybody was coming at the time. So, thank God they grabbed me and put me in jail. And through all that time, though, I quit praying. I had renounced God at that time, like a month or so when I threw my fit. I'm not praying no more, because before I'd be like, all right,
you
God.
were a pouting child, pouting child,
and dude, I was sitting in jail, and I guess I was probably coming down off the drugs or whatever, 3 or 4 days in, and I had another vision, and I seen I was sitting on the top rack and in my little cell, and I seen dry bones, like dry, brittle bones.
Ezekiel.
Standing there. I swear to God, bro, that's what it was. And dry bones, and all of a sudden I started praying for the first time in months, I started praying, and all of a sudden flesh started coming, and it grew, that just everything, the skin, the vessels, and there I was standing there
You were looking at yourself?
At myself, standing from me to you, dude, praying the whole thing. The more I prayed, the more it came life. And I swear I came to life again. And I have not stopped praying since. But anyways, through all that, my son got to go to his mom's for the first time with, for what I did or whatever. Yeah. And I got out, and the first thing I did was went to talk to a family attorney. And I said, okay, because I was submitted. I was defeated. I was broke. I was, I didn't think anybody could help me for anything, but I was just whatever. And that's when that day was when I went into that Oakdale AA meeting and seen Rob chairing the meeting. Went sat in the back.
Yeah, but okay. Tell them how you walked in with the hood on. Head down, sat all the way in the back, and I'm just watching him walk in. I know you.
Destroyed. And he looked at me and gave me the heads up, and I was like, oh, God, there's someone I know here. And I didn't really understand the whole concept of AA and all that. But, dude, after the meeting, Rob goes, hey, brother, how are you? What's going on? And I told him, and I said, bro, I'm fucked. No one could help me, dude. I'm, because I was still feeling the years of, going through watching my son die. And, and
were you blaming yourself at that point?
I just knew that it was such a wreck, and there's no one that could help me through what I'd been through. Like,
oh, you thought you were all alone.
I thought I was just fucked. There's nobody ever.
Right.
I'd never told no one how bad it hurt.
That's the way most people come into AA. They thinking nobody's.
Well, that's what he did. The same thing he said to the lawyer. No one can help me. She says, I can help you.
Yeah.
It's the same thing he was saying to me.
The same thing I said to you. I said, Robbie. Yeah, Rob goes, hey, brother. He looked me right in the eyes, and I mean, right out of the way. And he said, I can help you. I said, no, you can't. And Rob goes, I can fucking help you. And I was all, Rob, you can help me? And he goes, yeah, I can help you. I said, brother, no one can help me. And he goes, I can help you. I said, how are you going to help me? He said, do everything I tell you to do. I think he said, do these 3 things,
right,
and I'll help you.
My 3 rules.
You said, yeah, call me every day. Don't ever lie to me.
Don't ever lie to me.
And
don't waste my fucking time.
And come to these meetings,
right,
and you're going to do the steps with me, and I'll help you. And I was like, fuck.
I know the whole time we know God's doing the helping. God's doing the heavy lifting. Yeah. We're just
you're the vessel, Rob.
Dude, but I was like, there's not, I had nothing to lose.
But then I say, if you do everything I ask, because I never tell anybody anything. If you do everything I ask, for a week, I give you a week or 2 weeks, your life will change.
You did. That's what you said. In a week. I said, your life will change in a week. And
what kind of prison time were you facing?
9 years.
Yeah, 9 years, bro. I was getting 9 years. I'm a repeat offender. I'm a convict with a gun.
Oh yeah.
Chasing down a fucking diesel truck, and there was no way I wasn't going in. And I accepted
in a stolen vehicle.
Right. And I accepted it. And through the program and through the 12 steps,
right,
I accepted whatever happens, I'll take it.
Okay.
Whatever you have planned for me, I'll take it. I had already, my son was with his mom.
So we had time just to get, like I do, get working.
We went through the steps fast. Like I remember 3 weeks I was doing, I think my,
that's how we went to the
8th step. And
right.
We went, dude,
do me one favor. Tell them the story about the 5th steps, when we break down the 5th steps, when you do the 4th, and we're in the room, and I had to get up and walk around.
Oh yeah. So we're doing the 5th step. I was sharing with Rob all my wrongs and, everything that I believed was, wrong. And so I remember going in there to do the 5th step, and I knew I was fighting a case. And I remember looking up in the ceiling thinking, they got fucking microphones in here. I'm not supposed to say this out loud to anybody ever. And I remember going, hey, Rob, bro, this is shit I'm not supposed to say out loud. Like, never to nobody. I'm fighting a case right now. Like, dude, is there microphones in here? And I look at him, I remember Rob going,
I see what you're saying.
And I remember Rob goes, no, there's no microphones in here. You're good. I said, bro, I can't say this out loud. And he goes, just fucking say it,
Yeah.
And I told him everything, including the,
But halfway through.
Okay, so going through it, and so it just so happened one time. You could cut this out, right?
I can if we have to.
What I had to take. I basically had to take a break. He got to a point.
Yeah.
And I go, hold on.
Yeah.
And I've known him for 33 years.
Yeah. And he's done all these other.
Yeah, and I'm telling you, and I'm no angel, but I walk around the room and I'm like,
oh, bro.
What'd I say?
Bro, I remember exactly. You're sitting next to me and you had your glasses on and your fucking head was sweating and you go, hold on a second. And he stood up and he walked around, took his glasses off and wiped the sweat off his head and looked around the room. And there's no one in there but me and him. And I'm like, what the fuck's he doing? And he looked at me and he goes, you are one crazy motherfucker. That is the craziest fucking shit I've ever heard in my fucking life. And I was like, I remember thinking, I wonder how many other people he's said this to.
None.
Not one. Because you told me to tell you my shit.
That's
anyways, that was, dude, I'll never forget that because to me, it wasn't that bad. It was bad. I mean, it was bad. But shit happens.
Right.
But I'd been through so much shit that, I'm not numb to anything.
No, but by that time, I mean, we're talking a couple weeks.
Yeah.
We got to, about a week and a half to that point. But his life, and you know how when people come in and they start doing this process, but before they see it, the lights are on. I mean, he's
the lights came on quick, bro.
Let me ask you a question, Jason, because I talked about this with Rob. Did you feel like an onion? Did you just feel like shit coming off of you, being peeled off of you, and you're getting lighter and lighter and lighter as you were getting that stuff out?
Dude, so when this happened, and it happened so fast, everything, it was, you say like an onion. Yeah. I mean, you could say like that, but I just remember dude, I felt like a 12-year-old kid again at the frog pond, bro, jumping in, no worries. When I had the worries, my son was with his mom, begging, wanting to come home to dad so bad. I knew I was going to prison. Knew it. I told my dad, "Hey, Dad."
Well, one more. But God didn't bring you this. Finish this quote.
Yeah.
God did not bring you this far to
drop me on my head.
There you go.
No, that was the Robbie. Dude, it just goes way deeper than I can't say enough of this program because if you were really in my shoes, and my shoes were fucking big, big bad shoes. I didn't just get fucked up every night and fucking kick my dog or something, bro. I had the gnarliest shit on the planet happening around me. I was going to prison. My little son that I begged God for, you know what I mean, is now I can't take care of him, and that's one thing I just got to do. And I just can't even explain the pain. I'd never dealt with the loss of my son. Had never dealt with.
Talk a little bit before talk about a little bit, because that's a lot of the eighth, ninth step. But we went and did that because that was a watershed moment.
Yeah.
And how powerful
there
that
was a lot. There was so going through the steps to get to be like a 12-year-old kid again, which I never thought was even possible, because you pile all the shit of the world on, and I had some real shit I was piling on. And my son, I never got to say goodbye to him. Like when it was the day of his funeral, his mom came and grabbed me and said, "Hey, we can go back in here. They got him, I got him all dressed and shit. You want to tell him goodbye?" And I was like, "Fuck you," and I couldn't do it. She's like, "No, you should probably go tell him goodbye." And I was like, "No, I'm not going to fucking tell him goodbye. I'm going to remember him the way he was, and I'm not going to I can't do it. I can't do it." And fucking, I felt like the biggest bitch on this planet for not giving that little man enough respect to go tell my baby like a man. To go tell my baby goodbye. I'll see you soon, and give him a kiss goodbye, because I was too upset, So that one really hurt, bro. Not being a man and taking care of my baby. But that was part of my
Next step.
My next step, bro. Right. That was, I wrote, Rob had me write a letter to Tyler, telling him, I'm sorry that I didn't, I'm sorry, Bubba, I didn't come, do what I didn't get to tell you goodbye. And amongst other things, many other things. And we went, and I'd never been to his damn grave. Like never went to his fucking grave in
Took us a minute.
In years. And we went and sat there on our own and sat there and, read him that letter. And that was freeing. That was taking the weight of this, I don't know, some of this shit you feel like you can never come back from.
Yeah.
And that's the God effect. That's the God, those are the God shots.
Bro.
It has to be.
Because it ain't us. It's not, it's more than that. This whole program was God, the people. So I'm fighting a case and I know I'm going to prison. I get my son back immediately. Within 6 months, I have full custody. My son can't even see his, has to go see his mom through a mediator, I'm not saying that's good, but that's how hard I got my son back.
But God was working. I mean, things were just dropping. Inexplicable things would happen.
What happened to the case?
Oh,
so listen,
that's where I want to get to.
So my first sponsee is what?
A lawyer.
A lawyer in the same county, the same judges, the same DAs that I am facing charges.
Oh, wow.
My sponsee,
God.
Right?
Is that odd or
fresh out of Maynard's? Fresh out of Maynard's, bro.
Wow. I did not know that part.
Walks in the room, bro. Hey, blah, blah. One of the smartest, articulate guys we've ever seen, Rob.
Yo, baby.
And, dude, it goes way deeper than that. Just God walked me through it. I'd be like, there
was times Jason would get, bro, I'm going to prison, and we would talk and we would work through it.
Rob would tell me, God didn't bring you this far to drop you on your head. Wow. And I'd be like, there's no way I'm not going to prison. And he would be, well, if that's what you got to do. And I accepted that. Right. I told my dad, you may have to take custody of my son.
Acceptance.
Where it was acceptance. Right. And I was free.
Yeah.
God, your will be done, not mine. Whatever you want me to do, let's go.
Right.
And I was ready to
deal with it.
Whatever it was.
You were cleaning your side of the street.
But people know, whoever's listening, when you can say that to God and mean it, that's when stuff happens. That's when doors open. That's when weights are lifted. That's when
feeling like that
come off. That's the good stuff.
Feeling like that 12-year-old kid.
But like all of us, I mean, humans in general, alcoholics and addicts in particular, us three, really, we move at the speed of pain.
Right.
Yeah. Until the pain we're in is greater than our fear of change, we won't change.
Yep.
So so let's jump ahead. So because we kind of wrap things up, Jason. I mean, I think I could sit here and talk for hours with you. Yeah. I mean, literally I could. But tell me a little bit about your life now. Let's talk about that a little bit. I mean,
Jake. Another son.
Tell us a little bit about your life, where it's at right now. How many years sober?
6.5 years sober.
Yeah.
Yep. So through my sobriety, I spent a lot of time at home and through the court process and everything, not going to prison. I went through a lot of counseling, grief. I went through some real counseling.
Right.
And that I'd never dealt with before. I talked about, my son, we visit his grave frequently. Like, I know this time on earth is short and we're just here and God wants us to make the best out of it. And I'm a true believer. I follow I do the best I can to do what the Bible tells me to do.
And carry the message of
recovery. Yeah. For real, yeah.
Because I've helped a lot of people.
I've helped a lot of people, bro.
God through you.
God through me has helped. Yes. And so, I went through a lot of sponsees, helped a lot, took a lot of guys through the steps, changed a lot of guys' life.
Are you married again?
Yes.
Tell that story real fast because I'm dying to hear it. Yeah, tell it fast because I'm dying for that one to get out.
So I had truly accepted that it was just going to be me and Micah, and I had got my contractor's license back, which is almost impossible to do with my record.
Right.
but legitimately, like, God walked me through. I literally went in and took my contractor's test with the ankle monitor on. And I'm not saying, the only thing I'm saying, your past does not define you. And it's who you are and how you, and
thank you, Jason.
This is who I am right now. And what I did in the past has nothing. That's not me.
Right.
And I can make every excuse why I did it, but I'll never do it again.
Right.
I will never throw away my life again.
Right.
Over anything. And I work constantly to not make sure I don't do anything that even comes close to that. That would drive me there. And it's not just with drinking, it's mentally.
Right.
When I start getting mentally off, I go in. But anyway, so yeah, a few years ago, God, and one of the biggest things I was upset about was that I had to raise Micah like by myself. As you know, I felt like, you know, what I asked for was wrong. I felt like he needed.
Thank you. That had changed though, right?
Your
thought process had
my
changed.
thought process would change it through recovery. If someone shoots at you,
no
don't
longer
shoot
that
back.
selfish.
No,
right?
yeah, no, you don't. You don't carry guns. You don't. You know, and you immediately repent. When, you know what I mean? And dude, it's just my whole thought process had changed.
That selfishness fell away.
Yeah, it's gone. And so through that, I've had the same job for 7 years.
Doing your business on the side.
Doing my business on the side. I'm just
living great.
So thriving. So through this time I lived, and I just worked recovery, went through counseling, took care of my son, coached football teams, wrestling teams, and that was it. And all of a sudden, out of the blue, God puts this woman in my life who was very attractive.
I was just saying, you better refer.
She is,
yeah.
But it wasn't like when we first talked and went out. She has a son who's 1 year older than my son, who she's raised by herself her whole life with no father, and I've raised my son with no mother.
Right.
Mother's been around, but he has not had the motherly,
correct.
It's been me and him. And so when we first went out, we went axe throwing or something, and our families just clicked. And I was like, holy shit, do you see this? She's like, don't even start this shit with me. You're a red flag, dude. Like, I was like, whatever, I see it because I'm not stupid. Like,
right.
You know what I mean? Our kids were best friends instantly, doing kung fu out in the garage or karate or whatever. And dude, it was just, I
got a whole stepbrother just came into mind right there.
Hey, and so
did we just become best friends?
Yeah, that was. Hey, but we just became best family instantly,
right.
And that was
blended.
Dude, it was God's.
Right.
It was divine. It was. I can't, because the whole time she's like, "Hey, we're just hanging out, bro. Yeah. Like you go date. Like I had a date like the next night, and I was like, "Hey, I have a date tomorrow night. Oh yeah, go on your date. And I was like, whatever. Went on my date. My Harley broke down. I had to call her. Hey, man, I'm broke down in Oakdale.
After one date?
No, she knows I'm on a date because she called me. How's your date going?
I'm broke down on the side.
And I broke down at the bistro or whatever. Anyways, dude, just from then, after a few days, we go and she makes dinner at her house and we're eating dinner. And I'm like, God, this food's good. Like, what the hell? Like, and Micah looked over at Jake and he goes, does your mom cook like this every night? And he's like, yeah, this is normal.
Right. Yeah.
And it was, I don't know, dude, it was instant family. From then on, we've never been apart. Got married. So from my first marriage, we bought our first house, and that was as being young, that's exhilarating. You feel like a man. Like
as you go back, that family dream, that American dream is starting to rebuild.
All of a sudden,
rebuilding.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Within 6 months, we bought, together. Like I went to buy it myself, and my credit wasn't good enough. We had to both do it together, and we bought our first house. And just from then on, my business had taken off and God had sent it in another direction.
Wrestling again, Jake's on the
wrestling.
mat.
So
Awesome.
made Jake's
You even got back in.
His 8th grade. Yeah, I even got
You even got back in. I watched you at a chicken ranch.
Yeah, right, right.
That was right after you got sober.
Yeah, that was right. That was for real. Yeah.
Now thinking about
that
it now.
That was right out of Teen Challenge, bro. Right there when I.
Oh, that was that. That was before.
That was then. Okay. Yeah.
So you hadn't went off the rails completely then yet.
This last time,
but you just went to. You just were in a tournament here recently.
Yeah, I wrestled at the state open class tournament. Yeah.
How old are you?
53. Yeah. Hey, wrestled all the college. Hey, won. Got 8th place, man. Won my first match. Got set in the bracket just right. Where my second match, the guy that went to the finals broke my ribs, so I was out. But I defaulted to 8th place. So I know I could have beat a couple of those guys in there. But anyways,
yeah, baby.
That's funny.
There was nothing more exhilarating than watching my kids who have been in the sport coach me and be just
they're on your sideline
thrive when I won, just jumping up and down. It was cool, man. Yeah. But besides all that, that was a very God moment too. But besides all that, Jake went in, took to wrestling. I seen he was tough right away. And he's, he wrestled the same weight class as Tyler did. And I thought wrestling was done. This kid is an athlete. Never, first year wrestling, I seen how tough he was, kept him in it. We lost a lot of matches that year. We kept wrestling all the way through till last year. And I started seeing that there might be an open spot on the.
When Logan graduated, when my son graduated, Jake took that spot.
Jake took that spot. There was an open team on that at that weight class, and
out comes the wrestling mat.
It did, yeah. We started going 24/7. Just like I did with Tyler.
You getting joy out of it again,
dude? I can't even explain it. Something that was dead. One of my biggest losses, I had to bury, bro. God gave it back. Like right now, Jake just came back from Virginia 2 days ago. He was at a intensive. It was a team tournament camp on the East Coast, man. He went 14-0. He's the only one kid on the team that won all his matches.
He's tough, man.
Yeah, tough kid, man. And just getting tougher and tougher. I can't wait to see what happens this year. Because I know what's going to happen. We're putting the work in. But
he puts the work in. Yeah, but the beautiful thing is, the story, the redemption part that I loved, what I was crying for earlier, because I know the beginning and the end.
Yeah.
God took one son home.
Yeah.
Just like Job.
Gave you two sons
to raise
that are on the mat, that are best. The best kids I could ever ask for. No, dude, I just can't even explain it. They weren't like us, Larry. They don't
praise God.
Shit we're
praise
doing.
God for
Bob. Yeah. They're I can't even explain, man. Extreme athletes never had an F.
Wow.
And
what?
Dude, our family never had an F in that. Hey, our family, we bought our second house just now. We just bought our second house. Businesses are thriving. My wife's almost all the way through her school.
Because you told me a while back, maybe 6-7 months ago when we were talking, it was when we were taking Logan out, my son out to I took the wrestling mats to his house.
Yes.
So I bring him once a week. We'd bring me, Logan would come out and work Jake over, work him, that kid's stuff.
Yeah.
We'd work him over. It was fun.
Yeah.
But, and Jason looked at me and said, you know what, Rob? After all he's been through and all we've just heard, I've never been happier in my life. Can you imagine saying that after, and they just wouldn't.
I say this.
That's a God thing.
Right. We talk about this and you hear.
Blesses people like us. Right. Even like us.
So let me ask,
and unfiltered as we are.
Let me ask a question. And we're super long, so I'm sorry to listeners because it's not a 50-minute podcast, but I was not about to cut this one short. Not at all. So I want to ask you a question, Jason, because I say this to some people sometimes and people don't understand it, but I think us and AA that have walked through this.
Even though we're not affiliated with
AA. Sorry.
We're just members. Sometimes we go.
Right.
Yeah.
We had to go through what we went through to be the men we are now. Tell me your thought on that.
Yeah. No, so who I am right now, and that's what my wife says all the time. If she didn't go through everything she went through, she couldn't be the woman she is right now. I couldn't be the man I am. Right. And we are the biggest power couple most success. She hasn't drank in almost 2 years. Nice. Hey, my wife was a lush, bro. Like straight up bartender. Everyone knows her. Right. Hey, thriving. Like I said, we got $1 million in property that we just God put in our lives in the past 2 years. Like,
but you're putting in the work though.
We're putting in the work. We went to a meeting.
Doors open. God opens doors and you walk through
Sunday,
them.
bro, because I was, hey, I'm not ready. Hey, let's go to a meeting.
Right. Right.
And just got grounded real quick. Right. And I just can't even explain it. That life that I thought I would never have with my first wife and my first family, the one I walked away with pride and everything. I'd do anything to, have that again. I have it again. And I thought that was a one-time deal. But God has gave me back that double. with more maturity, sobriety.
Right. You said the key word right there, Jason, the maturity, because now you appreciate, right? So God has given back to you what he had taken from you, right?
Yes.
You had learned through all that stuff that all that you had was not yours.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
You didn't earn,
yes.
you didn't,
it's a gift.
It was a gift, but you didn't see it as a gift during that period of time, but now you see it.
Yeah.
So now you're living God's will out in your life, right? And everything, this goes right to our third step prayer, right? I mean,
said it this morning,
right?
I surrendered myself to you.
Correct. And you did that when you were facing that 9 years and you surrendered and said, I'm done. And everything that's came into your life after that is just twice as much, right? Twice as much. God's given you twice as much.
More than twice. It's
right.
Rob used to tell me all the time, hey, wait for another year, see what it looks like.
Right.
Hey, wait for 5 years and see it gets better and better. You used to tell me that, bro. I can't even believe it's still getting better and better.
Keep going.
But why? Why, Jason?
Just
because you're
the surrender.
Right.
It's the surrender.
Right.
Every morning I surrender. Let your will be done. I want nothing what I want.
Right.
Whatever you want from me, I'll take it.
Well, and Jason would always tell me, Rob, I go to God with open hands like this. Right. Take out what you want, put in what you want, and I'll play with the hands that I've been given.
Yeah.
Which is tough.
Right.
It's not. I can't do it any other way.
But I'm looking at Larry as I say this because
for some people it's tough.
He's getting there, but because control.
Jason,
until you get so broke that you have the freedom, then you're like, whatever I'll do it again.
Yeah, baby.
I still go through those moments, and I'm going to wrap this up, Jason.
Yeah.
I can't even begin to thank you for coming in here.
For sure.
I've been so excited to get you in here. Now I'm going to get emotional thinking about it.
Unfiltered.
Yeah, it's to listen to what you've gone through, right?
Yeah.
And anybody that thinks out there that's listening thinks that, oh my gosh, I haven't been through that yet. Let me tell you something. I don't want that. Yeah. I don't want any of those.
That's why I did not want his 4-step.
Yeah. I don't want
all the crazy stuff. There's not. I didn't want to bury a child.
Yeah.
That's the part.
My yets are better off to stay right where they're at. Mm-hmm. And the only way my yets are going to stay there is I'm going to stay involved in this. Yeah. I'm going to stay involved with God. Yep. I'm going to stay involved with giving everything over to him. Yep. I'm going to stay involved with what I'm doing here. Yep. I'm going to stay involved with this, I remember my dad, God love him. I was sitting over there as a couple, probably about a year after I got sober, and I was getting ready to go to a Saturday's men meeting. And I said, I'm going to head, because I go visit my dad quite often. And I goes, I'm going to head to a meeting. He says, God damn, how many of those meetings you got to go to? I'm like, for the rest of my life, Dad, for the rest of my life. See, they just don't get, you know what I mean? That's what we do.
We'll start with this one, Dad.
Right.
Yeah. I'll hit this one today. Yeah. Tomorrow, if I'm blessed with tomorrow, we'll talk.
Because my life, as good as I thought my life was, and I had a good life. Even when I never, like I said, I never got in trouble. Yeah. I had a good life when I had my moment of clarity.
Yeah.
I was still on top of the world. I wasn't kicked like Jason was. I wasn't kicked. I was on top of my world. I had my moment of clarity because I saw shit starting to come apart. Right.
The bottom came up and hit you.
Slapped me in the head and go, look at what you're headed for. Yeah. Right. That's when I said, nope, not for me anymore. I'm out. Get me in this. And I don't want to go back to that. Yeah. I don't.
Bro, you're an inspiration, and look what you're doing now.
I can't do this anyway.
Yeah.
I can't do this anyway. Yeah. You guys talk about having sponsees. I can't do it.
He's a terrible sponsor.
I'm fucking horrible.
Terrible.
I chased the guy out of this office right here. I chased him out. I told him, get the fuck out of my house. I told him to ran him down the fucking stairs, opened the door, and slammed it behind him. Get the fuck out. He was pissing me off, all right? He thought I was a fucking marriage counselor.
But, that's not everybody's gift.
Right. No. Larry's got sure the fuck ain't mine.
Larry's got different gifts.
Anyways. Rob, thanks for coming back.
Oh, you're welcome.
You're going to come back with me in a couple of weeks. Next, we got
Jason, I love you, brother.
I love you, brother. Thank you, Rob.
Yeah.
Thank
Jason,
you, Larry.
you can't even. Yeah. The respect I have for you is incredible.
Appreciate you guys. Yeah.
It's if you want to get in touch with Jason, reach out to us if you got information. Jason, we can give you some information to Jessica's house. I think that's something that we probably have.
It's huge.
Yeah. If you are interested in that, if there's something in Jason's story that you're interested in, email us at recoveryunfiltered Rob and Larry at gmail.com. That's recoveryunfiltered at robandlarry.com. How's that go, Rob?
Rob in Larry, not and. He'd put Rob and letter in Larry, control.
Man, I appreciate everybody. Thank you. Thank you for joining us today.
We hope you learned something today that will help you.
If you did not, come back next week and we'll try again.
If you like what we heard, give us a 5-star review. If you don't like what you heard, kiss my... You can't say that, can you? Anyway, if you don't like what you heard, go ahead and tell us that too. We'll see what we can improve. We probably won't change nothing, but do it anyway.
Hey, thanks, Rob. Come back next week and hopefully something will be different and something will sink in.
This has been Recovery Unfiltered.